My name's Rhapsody. I just spent 10 minutes talking before I realized that I had not yet hit the record button, and welcome to Slay the Spire. Now, a slight confession. Over the past 2 days, there have only been one Slay the Spire video daily rather than the standard 2. That's not representing a downshift in gears in terms of the channel or in terms of the content for Slay the Spire. It's just that I needed some time off. Just for the sake of keeping number one happy and healthy, I needed to take a little bit of a break. Especially considering I'm kind of going to be diving into 2 more series in the upcoming and near future. That, of course, is all administrative though. For the moment, Rhapsody is Slay the Spire. It's a video game. So, I think what I want to do with this episode is pick up the final achievement that was included in the last update that I do not yet have. I obviously have Sapphire, beat the game with a defect. I obviously also have Where About Are You? It should be here-ish focused for having 25 or more focus during combat. I believe that actually worked. Like when the achievement was included, I retroactively earned it from a run where I had 25 or more focus beforehand, which I appreciate because it's not something that happens ridiculously often, and I'm not sure I wanted to, take a bunch of consumes and then just wait to get an insert or at an end of a boss to try and go for it specifically. The achievement remaining, however, is common sense. Beat the game with a deck of only common cards. So, only common cards means nothing with a blue border, nothing with a orange border, yellow border, whatever you want to call it, right? They're uncommon and rare cards. But the thing that you really need to consider is what class would be best at achieving this. So I've been looking at both the Ironclad and the Defect primarily, because the Ironclad has flex and has a bunch of attacks in here, especially a couple strength synergistic attacks in Heavy Blade and Sword Boomerang that could really go for like an aggressive build that plays only common cards. Like you won't be able to pick up Battle Trance, you won't be able to pick up the Whereabouts Are You? Rage, won't be able to pick up Whirlwind, and you won't be able to pick up Offering or Limit Break or Double Tap. But all of those were kind of cherries on the top, right? Save for Whirlwind, right? It's usually kind of core, but most of them were cherries on the top of an aggressive Ironclad run. Now, in green, for the Silent, I really don't see it, right? I see one Shiv synergy card, and it has nothing else to support it. I see 2 Poison synergy cards, and very little to support those as well. None of your powers are common, which means you can't get Footworks out, you can't get the Noxious Fumes out. So the kind of most successful build that I have, at the very least, with the Silent is completely locked off. There's very little discard synergy. There's Sneaky Strike as well as the Dagger Throw, and that's really about it. I guess Prepared as well. I just don't see it. If there is a set of these cards that makes a coherent deck theme, I'm just not seeing it. In blue, however, for the Defect, I can totally see it. Claw, Hologram, Beam Cell. They're all there. There's even Leap for like a hard defensive card. It's all there. You could totally make that into a claw-based build for the Defect to try and get that achievement. But we do not feel like deciding today, so I'm going to go with the Ironclad. I'm not going to go with the Ironclad, sorry. I'm going to go with the Ironclad on heads. I'm about to flip a coin. And Defect on tails. That's heads. Ironclad time. Obviously, we're not going to put an Ascension on. We don't need to unnecessarily limit ourselves while we're unnecessarily limiting ourselves. Get a random rare card. Ooh, that sounds like a really good thing to do. Alright, I'm not going to. Weave an early shop as well as just a whole chain of rests and question marks. Hey, baby, that's going to be great. I'm actually going to lose 50% of my maximum HP. It's probably one of the only characters I would do it on. The Ironclad, considering that you can heal it up so easily at the end of fights. But on top of that, it's probably like Ascension 0. Probably one of the only positions in which I would do it as well. Alright, triple strike. Beautiful. Heal up by 5. Sword Boomerang, Sword Boomerang, Armaments, True Grit. I think that the best success is going to be met with going aggressive on this. So I'm going to take a Sword Boomerang, and I'm looking for Strength Up. If I could get it from relics, obviously that's the world in which I want to live. Damn. Damn. I shouldn't have defended there, because defending only defends me for 5, whereas if I killed this frontliner just by attacking 3 times, I would have been defended for 6. Quote unquote defended, right? Because it's killing them. Okay, hit him with that bash. Sneeko, I'll become confused and draw 2 cards. Definitely flex right now. I do want to clash in my future, but at the moment it's flex. Also remove a defend. Perfect. Those defends are being removed so that clashes can take their place, effectively. Okay, so that's 20 that the enemy currently has, which means that there is no combination of these that'll do it. 3 strikes is 18. Bash plus strike using the vulnerability is 17, sorry. Just took a while for my brain to load that answer. I'm not going to be going defensive, and I'm not going to be using Havoc. I do want to go to a shop, though. Thread and Needle is ridiculously powerful. I'd love to take Flash of Steel, but I can't. So I think it's Thread and Needle, remove a defend. So Thread and Needle is going to provide some defense for us while we're not defending, effectively. Also, every time we remove a defense, we're increasing the power of the flex. Beautiful. Because we're making it more consistent, we draw flex along with a bunch of attacks. Ancient Tea Set. Whenever you enter a rest site, start the next combat with 2 extra energy. Handy. Actually gonna upgrade Bash rather than losing it. Vajra. Start each combat with +1 strength. I think I was just talking about Vajra and the fact that I do want strength from somewhere in this run. I'm not resting because, should I? I think I should, actually, before this upcoming boss. Hell yes. All right. Thunderclap is really, really good. It's a little bit of AoE, but it's also a little bit of vulnerability application. I could take the boot. The boot means that Sword Boomerang is always going to be... what, 20 damage? Yeah, 20 damage at the very least. I also kind of want Cleave. If I took Cleave, I would Cleave card remove. With our Vajra, like, this is optimistic that the Sword Boomerang is going to consistently be upgraded by the boot. Obviously, Shuriken's the best option here, but it's not something that we can buy, so... I'm actually going to rest in this place. I desperately want to upgrade both my AoE cards, but since I have only 1 defensive card in my entire deck, I'm pretty much... Ooh, I have to do that one. I'm pretty much condemned to have to attack all of the time in this fight. Uh-huh. Which means we are going to lose HP real fast. Okay, we can take 1 more big hit and then we're in for it. Well, I mean, I could prevent this hit. Right? 6x4. 6x4 is 24 plus a strike for 10 is 34, so the enemy will transform. Sure. We definitely have to bash, unfortunately. Cool. Yeah, this is pretty much how I expected this one to go, to be honest. Good thing I rested. Can't take any of them. I've got to remember that. Extra energy is actually quite handy, right? Consider that our lowest cost hand right now is 0 cost plus 4 1 costs, right? Because we only have 1 0 cost. So 4 energy is totally fine. If we took Transform All Strikes and Defense, we might get, you know, non-basic cards, non-common cards. Uncommon cards. There's a word for that already in the English language, right? So we don't want to do that. And we're not going to have a particularly thick deck. So yeah, it's totally Sozu. It does lock us off from being able to use potions as a in-fight combat enhancer. But that's okay. The extra energy is really handy. We're probably not going to go for that many elites. I think I am mostly going to be taking the path of least resistance. Okay. We'll take 15 damage here, but we're going to get 8 back. 8-6, sorry. Back at the end. Should have done that in the other order. So we only lost 9 in that fight in total. Upgraded sword boomerang. You know what I want. Thanks. Get that final defend out of there. I have no use for it. Okay. One of you goes on the ground. I could put the other 2 on the ground. Hell yes. No buffs. Oh, man. Sword boomerang. All right. Essence of Steel that I don't get to get. Unfortunately, a lot of stuff there I can't really get either. The apparitions are common. Is this the right deck? Oh my god, I think it is. Fuck it. Let's take him. Screw it. Let's take him. I mean, I'm about to become confused anyhow. Okay, only 1 damage. I mean, look, play both of the apparitions, because this is what I'm thinking about, is that Thread and Needle completely protects me as long as I have an apparition already out. It is going to slow down our initial kill, and I could see myself on a different day making an argument opposite to the one that I am currently making, but hey, that's just me. I do think that it's going to be handy for us to upgrade some of the apparitions. Not all of them, but some of them, so that if we get up against a boss who is going to really tear us a new one, Nilri's Codex is actually going to be handy. If we do get up against a boss who is going to really tear us a new one at the end of a certain phase, then we can save an apparition for said phase. Runic Dodecahedron, if your HP is full, gain energy at the start of each turn. That is actually going to be surprisingly likely to occur for us. Ha! Oddly smooth stone, it's my favorite. We're definitely taking a heavy blade here. I mean, we have no cards that give us dex, so there's no reason to take that one. Oh, we have exactly enough to remove a card? Sure, let's get a strike out of here. I could also see myself removing a couple apparitions, because I don't need, as many as I have right now. And they are screwing up a couple of our hands. Still got a flex in my deck, don't I? Hey, we're intangible. No, I'm not going to do it this time. I know you expect it. That's when I'm not going to do it. Beautiful. All right. I mean, we kind of just do it in increasing order and then just murder at the very end. It's perfect. Gambler's Brew discard as nope, never mind. Don't focus on the Gambler's Brew for even a second longer, right? We could survive most bosses, most elites, I believe. I'm gonna take Limit Break, because again, Flex is still in the deck. If I draw them both in the same turn, we're on Cloud 9. Damn it! Now we're only on Cloud Atlas. Okay, well, I mean, I will Limit Break Thunderclap Bash. 2 apparitions in there, beautiful. Ooh, not too keen on the weakness, though. I think I'm just going to have to try and kill through the weakness. which is extremely unfortunate because we're never being unweakened at this point. $13. 7 with vulnerability is 10. Beautiful. Okay. Anger. Start each combat with +10 block. Handy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's do it. I am a vampire ghost. You cannot harm me. Oh, God, don't tell me that the bites are... No, the bites are common. Okay. Oh, I love it. This is going to mean that Runic Dodecahedron is so active. All right. I'm still intangible, so can't do anything to me. Flex, flex, sword boomerang. Oh, baby. It's going to be brutal. Bye. Oh, it's already upgraded as well. I can't do it, just so you know. Definitely can't do it. Extremely bad, not good idea. Heavy Blade does need an upgrade. Those bites are probably after, though. These are going to be the problematic fights, right? I could say... I think I do. I mean, because I can take them to use in a fight. I just can't keep them. Sure, we'll put another heavy blade in there. Thank you, Apparitions, for buying me another turn. We actually, in our next stand, do not have a flex. I thought we did. Guess we used it in the opening turn and I forgot. That does sound like me. Okay. We're still intangible for this turn, my friend. This is going so well. I love it. We need more flexes, is one thing. Because this heavy blade is often lagging behind where I want it to be. I almost insta-picked that freaking double tap and the offering. The offering was actually the one that I almost insta-picked. But, like, there was a twitch and then I was like, what? No. No. Obviously I can't take 3 curses and 3 relics. 3 curses will murder me super easily. Thickening up the deck and making my flexes further from my attacks, despite the fact that I already have the apparitions kind of doing that, is just going to kill me. I think I take Lizard Tail, because obviously I can't take the White Beast statue. I have Sozu, so I can't even pick up potions. Okay. I'm super tempted to take a 3 elite path. I will, however, take a no elite path. I know what's good for me, I just look the other way. I'm taking Carnage because we have a lot of energy. Definitely need to bite at the end there. Beautiful. I'm tempted to take the upgraded Thunderclap. Stone to Endecker at the end, is it not? Yeah. Getting a bit more AoE in the deck. But also a bit more ability to break the vulnerability. Or rather, ability to apply vulnerability to break the artifacting that the enemies have. There we go. I knew I had it in me somewhere. No. I was actually considering the pommel strike there for a second. Oh. I have to admit, I want it. The primary reason that I want the red mask here is, again, about removing that vulnerability as early as we can on our enemies. I'm taking it. 181. I think I would pay that in a store to get it. We're about to be weakened, so Bludgeon's going to be super ineffective. This is what I'm talking about. See how in this hand, I could have had 4 attacks and a flex. Instead, I had a flex and 2 attacks because the other slots were apparitions. This is the problem that apparition kind of poses. This is why it's not inherently a good thing or a bad thing. You just need to decide whether or not your deck can take the lower consistency of draw. And unfortunately, we can't really increase the consistency of our draws using, you know, like an offering or a battle trance or something like that, so that we can just draw a bunch of things for free and then utilize those. Didn't even think about whether or not I would be able to kill without it. Should have done, though. Doesn't make a difference, though. Alright. Regen potion they can't have. I'm going to take the 3rd sword boomerang. Those madnesses are uncommon, so I can't take them. So I guess I have to take the Curse of Writhing. Oh, it's going to be hard to remove that one from my deck, unfortunately. And it's also actually going to be like a real bastard. Because it's always, by its nature, in our opening hand. Oh, that's good. Flex with 2 sword boomerangs. A hell of a lot of damage right there. If I attack twice this turn, I've got to kill next turn. So I'm passing up the apparition here. Thunderclap sword. Now... No, not another sword boomerang. Not good. Not a good result there, video game. We didn't hit either of the fire orbs twice, which is going to make it really difficult to destroy them. We're looking for, like... Ooh, that's... We have to take the rolls, basically. Alright, there goes that apparition, but it's fine. We're not being attacked this turn either. Definitely got a thunderclap. Definitely got a kill. And definitely got a double apparition flame prison. Never mind, there was never actually a choice there. Perfect. Thank you. Give me that whirlwind. Put it in the deck. Now you're summoning this turn because you haven't got the blue buff flame, so you're not healing, which means that I just need to kill you in this single turn with flame. Beautiful. Whew. Alright. Block potion would be super handy if I could take it. Can't take it though, so not taking it. I mean, I don't even need to play the apparition. There's no benefit to it. There's no benefit to not playing it either, for what it's worth. They're ethereal. They will die at the end of the turn either ways. This is not ethereal, so I can just not play that one. Which I believe... Yeah, because you don't attack next turn, so I'm not even going to play it. Never mind. Does attack next turn. I was wrong. The usual pattern that I expect from this enemy is the attack, debuff, attack, buff, attack, debuff, repeat. Not a huge fan of the fact that we're weakened, and extremely not a huge fan of the fact that if we had Shuriken almost every turn, we'd be getting something from Shuriken. This just makes me feel bad that we don't have Shuriken. Neilry's Codex is actually doing some work here. Not much, but some. A non-zero amount of work is being done by that Shuriken. That Neilry's Codex, rather. Okay. Yep. Pantograph at the start of boss combat heal for 25 HP. We would have to be almost entirely dead for that to be worthwhile. Orichalcum, really? That's super sad. I would take Orichalcum because the Orichalcum plus the Thread and Needle would mean 11 defense on turns where I don't even block, which is pretty big. If it was an unupgraded apparition, I would lose it. Damn. I think we need to upgrade the other two apparitions that we can upgrade, that is to say. Can't take any of those. Okay. Let's try and straight up remove one. Because we've got AoE left in the deck. And that'll do it. Hell yeah. Cleave, bite, kill. There's an attack coming in every turn from Donu and Decker. Is there any situation in Donu and Decker where I am not going to use a apparition? There isn't. There actually isn't any situation like that. Upgrading apparitions wrong. I can't believe it took me that long to realize. Oh. They're gonna attack every turn. Oh no. I would love to take Clash. I would... You know what? I'm taking Shockwave. I would love to take Clash, but I can't do it. If I take Clash, I've got all these days in my deck, and I've already got Writhe in my deck. It's just too likely that it turns around and screws me. It is pretty important that we have the Lizard Tail here. I'm going to take it to some. It's going to cost me one draw. The energy cost is probably negligible at this point, though. We've got to kill the backliner first because the backliner is doing all of the buffing. We can take an offering here because it's not in our deck. It is just in our in-play deck, not in our actual generated deck. The difference is GD night and day. For what it's worth, though, right now, we have exactly one more turn of safety. Evolve is actually pretty handy because we're going to be drawing a lot of dazed. This is exactly what I was worried about. I'm about to take 19 damage here. Backliner attacks this turn. They're still vulnerable. Okay. Could have taken Power Beyond. Could have taken Power Beyond and should have. For what it's worth, I think I'm actually double dead right now. Because we get healed up and then we take one hit, which kills us, and then we get resurrected to half-life, and then we take another hit, which kills us again. You lizard tail, you didn't even save me! Alright, the turn before is when I failed it. I should have taken the defensive card, the 1 energy for 15 defense plus put 2 wounds in your deck. Because the fight could not have gone for long enough that those wounds were actually going to significantly affect me. Because they're not even placed in my draw pile, which wouldn't have even mattered, right? Because I had the Evolve already played. They're not placed in my draw pile, they're placed in my hand. So hand to discard pile, to reshuffle, to draw pile, to draw. And even then, I would have to have played so many copies of that defensive card that I would have died. That is to say that I would have drawn nothing but wounds for it to actually be a super strong negative. I completely screwed that up in literally the final turn. Well, this just gives me an opportunity to try and do it with the defect instead for the moment. My name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. Don't do what Dunny don't did, and hopefully we'll see you next time.